Hi, Web Design 3 class. It's good to reach out to you again. Hopefully you all had a really great spring break and are ready to get back in here and do a little bit more work on your portfolio site. I'm excited to see how things are progressing for each of you. And I will take a look into each of your websites this week and hopefully give you some feedback and reach out and maybe offer you some guidelines and help. And reach out to me, definitely email me and let me know if you're having trouble with something or if you need help, or some advice on what else you can do. I'm going to go through the dashboard and show you a couple of other things that maybe you didn't know or haven't figured out yet that might be handy moving forward. So I'm going to share my screen and show you the dashboard that is for the web design class website that I use just to advertise and have information about the classes that are offered at the high school. Okay, so I have just logged in and I haven't logged in for a little while, so I have a message here that says WordPress 5.4 is available, please update now. If you haven't logged in for the last couple of weeks, you might see a message like that too. I believe the this update has come out just very recently. So if you see that in here, you can update. And the way that you go to that is on the dashboard on the left. There is an updates, and there's this little orange icon that lets you know how many things are waiting to be updated. And you'll see down below that plugins also has that, so we know that plugins has some updates too. Now you have the core WordPress files, you have plugin files, and you have theme files that can be updated at any given time. So just keep that in mind to check regularly, probably once a week is good, to log into your dashboard and to see if anything needs updated. There is a note here that says, before updating, please back up your database and files. It is important, however, right now, I'm not going to have you do that step just because it usually involves other plugins and going back into your cPanel and making changes, and those things are probably easier done in class. So I will show you how to do those. We just won't do them at this point. So here you have the option to update the WordPress version. We also have plugins that need to be updated, and then themes. So for any of those, you can click the select all and then update. I'll just show you what this one looks like first. Usually we'll go back, or blank, sorry, and then update each one, and it will tell you that it's going into maintenance mode. So for just a very short time as these updates are being made, your website is not accessible. But like you just saw, it takes seconds sometimes, so it's not anything that you need to be worried about. Okay, so that was just the themes, and I can go to this Return to WordPress Updates page, and I could do the rest of them. I'm not going to do those at this point. You saw how easy that was, so I'll let you do that on your own if you have the updates on here. So update now would do the WordPress core, and then I could do that same thing, select all, and update the plugins all at once. Okay, I wanted to show you a couple of different things. We talked about the difference, I think, between posts and pages. So pages are the static pages that you have. Post would be blog posts. So if you maybe want to blog about this very unusual circumstance and time that we're going through, that would be a great way to do that. You can put that on your portfolio. And under posts, you can create a category for COVID-19 maybe, or senior year or something, and write about it. Create a post that lets you, in a way, journal. You can add pictures to that. You can put links and video and lots of different things on there. So if you feel like you want to use that for this purpose, go for it. That's totally fine, totally acceptable. What I would like to show you a little bit is the media. We didn't get into that before we left. So the media library is all your images or files that can be accessed on the site. So under media, I'm just going to go to the library first and show you what that looks like. If the theme that you installed came with any pictures or files, you'll see those here too. Now, if you look here, I only have one picture. on here. That's okay. I don't have a lot on the site itself. So I could hit this add new, and I can either drag files over from File Explorer, or I can select and upload. So I'm just going to select. It'll let me here. There we go. Okay. And let's see, I'm just going to grab a picture, just a random picture. Now that has updated right here. That was pretty fast. Now when I click on it, this was for my computer science class, I have some information over here on the right, when it was uploaded, the file size and the dimensions, alternate text. That should be familiar. When we've added images in HTML, we have alt text or a screen reader. I can add a title here, a caption, a description, and then I have an actual link to that page. I can also do just some really minimal editing by clicking that edit image. I can do some crop, rotating, or flipping, or scale over here on the right side. So nothing major. This is not Photoshop, but some very simple image editing features. Now, one thing that I would like to show you, this is something really cool that WordPress does. I'm going to go into cPanel, into my file manager, and I will walk you through this process so that you can kind of see what WordPress does. So in public HTML, that's where my folder is. And when you go to your cPanel, you'll probably see, and after you do public HTML, click on that, then you might see 2 or 3 different folders, just depending on how many subdomains and sites you set up. So look for the folder, click on the folder that is for your WordPress site, and then go to WP-content. Double click that, then find the folder that says uploads, double click that. Okay, and you should have, now I started this back in 2019, so I have a folder for that year also. Files that you upload into the media library are organized by year and then by month. So I'm going to click on 2020. And then because it's April, I'm going to go into April. Okay, I uploaded 1 picture, but look at what is actually in File Manager here. What it's done, it has created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versions of that picture that can be used. So let me show you how that works in your pages or your post. Either one will work. But now I have different sizes of images that can be used, and I didn't have to open them up in Photoshop. So this is something really cool, especially if you're uploading a lot of pictures in your post or something like that, and maybe the size is too big or you want it a little bit smaller. You don't have to format every single one. So I would say that this is probably the original one here at the bottom. And then I've got this size. This is going to be a thumbnail size, this 150 by 150. And handy enough, this size is appended to the name of the image. So if I go back to my dashboard, I'm going to exit out of this screen. And let's just go to, I'll go to a post and just say add new. I'm not actually going to save it. Okay, so here is just our classic editing screen. I'll go to the visual one. So visual is using this here, and then text will show you all the code if you want to manipulate the code a little bit. Okay, so here I'm going to hit the add media, and I could also upload from this point too. I don't have to always just go to the library first. I can upload it, but here I can select that picture, and I look over here on the right. Now down at the bottom, attachment display settings, here's size. So I can choose from any of those sizes that were created. So maybe I want the full size, maybe I just want a thumbnail, but it will let me choose those different sizes. I'll go with large right now and insert. and then it puts it there into the page. And then if I go to text, you'll see this is very familiar HTML code. So you can get in and manipulate anything that you want to in the posts and the pages. Okay, something else that I wanted to cover is formidable forms. We very, very briefly got to talk about that in class before we left. That in King Composer, we kind of rushed through a lot of those. So let's talk about adding that form. You'll go to formidable form. And I'm just going to leave that page. I don't need to save it. Okay, and after the plugin has been installed, it uses just a basic contact form that you can edit. So I'm going to edit this one. I can drag and drop any of these different fields over here if you haven't got in there to play with it. For example, if I wanted to add radio buttons, I can put those right there. And then when I click on it, I have all different kinds of settings over here. Okay, now what I want you to focus on for just a little bit on this is being able to receive a message that says you have a form or some of the form results. So you're going to want to go to settings and then actions and notifications over here on the left. Okay, so I've got an email notification already set up. If I click on that, it will go down these different options. So it's automatically set to go to the admin email. So whatever you set is the administrator email on this. That's where it's going to go to. And it will have a default message. You can click on these 3 dots over here and customize this in any way. Okay, so play around with this just a little bit. And then make sure that you save it or update here in the top right corner when you're done. Okay, then I'm just going to close that. Now, how do I get it onto a page? That was a question that was asked. Great question. Look over here in this main screen that goes over your forms, short codes. So WordPress works in short codes. You'll see them with the square brackets around them that usually reference a plugin, just a little snippet of code. Might even look a little bit like PHP code that you will put somewhere in your page or in your post that will reference this other plugin addition. So right here, I would copy this and then paste it somewhere, probably on a page. So if you have a contact page created, I would put that short code just in the page itself. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. And we'll go over to pages. And I don't even have a contact page, so I'll just do an add new. And I will put contact. Now, formidable is kind of nice because it already has this little button here that I could add a form and I can choose from, and see there's my short code down there. Some of them do, some of your themes will not. Just depends on the theme that you're using or the page building plugin, like we've got King Composer. So it just depends. But that does give you an option to paste the code in right there. When I go to visual, it's still going to show the short code until I actually publish. Okay, so my page has been published. I'm going to click the view page. Actually, I'm going to open that in a new tab so that we can see it separate. And there is that contact form. Okay, there's even the radio buttons that I added. All right, now I'm going to add an entry. Okay, and the radio buttons are not required, so I'm not going to worry about that, and I'm just going to hit submit. Okay, and this message was already pre-formatted in formatable forms, so going through the settings, you can change that if you'd like to. Now, let's go back to our dashboard. Under Formidable, you'll see the second option down is Entries. When you click on Entries, okay, here's an entry key. This is the form that I just, filter. Yep, we're going to choose the Contact Us. There we go. Here is the entry that I just made. So this is so cool. It will save here in the dashboard and email a result to that email address, the administrator email address. You can export these also. So Formidable Forms really does have a great free version that allows you to do a lot of things. So I can view, and here's the information that I submitted. So it saves it in the dashboard and it emails it to me. So I've got it in two places, super handy. Okay. One last thing that I'm going to cover with you. I don't remember if we talked about this or not. Under Appearance, you have lots of different options. So I can change the theme here. Customize gives me another screen where I can change settings that are usually related to the theme. Widgets appear in sidebars and footers, and then menus. Menu is your actual navigation menu. So I'm going to just show you what that looks like. I just don't remember. It's been a while, so I don't know if we've talked about that. So right now, my main menu just has these 3 links for the 3 different classes. Now I added that page, remember, the contact page. So I can click on that one here and add to menu. And there it is right there. I'll want to save. And then I'm going to come back over here to the site itself. So you can see here's the menu as it was, the 3 different links. When I reload, that's okay, I'll go ahead and submit that. Now I have all 3, or sorry, that 4th one in there. Now it doesn't add it automatically unless I tell it to, because sometimes you want to manipulate your menu and customize it quite a bit. So it just depends on what you want to do here. If you do want to just automatically add everything, there is a setting down here in menu settings. Okay, I think that's enough for this week. Hopefully this will give you some idea of some different things you can do. I included on the email some expectations that I have as far as a portfolio, an about page, and a contact page. Beyond that, I'd like you to just experiment a little bit. You are welcome to add a blog that is more of just a journal or different entries, just kind of your own thoughts. That's certainly acceptable. So go ahead and be working on those. If you have questions, please email me and I will get back to you very quickly. I will do another video next week on some other things you can add on your portfolio, and I will also be checking URLs to see where you're at progress-wise, so that hopefully when we get back together, we can start finalizing and moving on to our next project. Hey, everyone, have a great week. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.